the treaty was explicitly drafted, and the German government has admitted this, in such a way as to try and minimise the possibility of there being a referendum in Ireland, because they're obviously worried that a referendum could be defeated. The Irish government has not admitted that, but we know it to be true. Now, will they get away with it? It's hard to say, but there's a strong argument that it is, as currently proposed, unconstitutional. So, for example, the argument that Ireland has to bring its budget deficit down to 0.5% of GDP, as the treaty stipulates, and that can never be reversed or altered by any Irish Parliament, runs counter to a 1987 Supreme Court judgment which said that Parliament, or any other organ of the state, cannot give away powers that are granted to it by the Irish Constitution. So, while legal opinion is divided, our view is that this is unconstitutional and that therefore it can only be adopted in Ireland if there is a referendum to amend the Constitution. So we are hopeful that there will be a referendum, and obviously we're hopeful that that referendum will lead to a defeat and the treaty will fall. On the question of what the adoption of the treaty would mean for Ireland, it would mean yet further austerity. At the moment, Ireland is trying to cut its budget deficit down to 3% of GDP by 2015 under the existing Stability and Growth Pact rules. We're probably not going to make it. We're probably going to just maybe make 3.7%, 4% by 2015, even with massive austerity, such as 3.8 billion euros in tax increases and spending cuts this year alone in Ireland. So let's say we get to 2015, we're around about the 3.7% mark. The treaty's been adopted. Now we have to start aiming for the 0.5% mark. So we have to whack another 3.2% off our GDP in order to meet this wholly unrealistic and entirely arbitrary budget deficit target. So this will really mean, if the treaty were to be adopted and implemented, this would mean austerity stretching out into more or less the limitless future for Ireland.